どう会社に行かせるな。
なんで？い
いから。
まあいいか。会社に行けないようにすればいいんだな。窓開けてこうくん。
はい。
えい。え？ぶん投げたった。
方法が雑。
This episode today of Call of the Night was so good. This was, to me, a perfect 10 out of 10 episode. Like, I really felt in every fiber of my being, this episode rocked the freaking house. Like, I loved every single moment of this episode. Half the episode was all about the businesswoman, you know, kind of picking up from last week, having KOU'S and come in and really, like, you know, take on the massage endeavor, really having him go at it. And taking it actually seriously as well. And then we have the other half of the episode where it was all about KOU'S and Nazuna going out and enjoying the thing that they love the most, which is the night. And this was like, I think they really said it this episode too. They called when they were at the nighttime pool, KOU'S called it the ethereal atmosphere that the pool invoked in him. And that's really what this whole episode was. It was an atmospheric episode. And wow, like, I just can't hit home enough how special this anime is. Like, it's a masterpiece. And again, this personal opinion here, you know what I mean? Like, every time somebody's reviewing anything, video game, show, movie, art, anything, any critic, it's always their personal opinion. So you might be like, oh, well, you know, I got bored or this and that. For me, like this was an atmospheric episode. And again, the star of the show really continues to be the night. The nighttime is the star. Even this episode, we had our new character, Shirakawa, who is the 24-year-old businesswoman. And even during her kind of flashback, we call back to a time where she was around KOU'S age, and she discovered the nighttime for herself, the atmospheric being that the nighttime is, her going to the convenience store at night, feeling like the world is yours because it's just simply so empty. It's so different. It's so atmospheric. And I think that's just such a really cool thing to always call back to the night being the star of the show. Although the show really has a vampire as one of the main characters, the star of the show is the nighttime, and I just think it's so freaking ass cool. It's just so cool. So the other part of the episode is, obviously I already mentioned her. We had Shirakawa, who was, again, the 24-year-old businesswoman who came to Nazuna's place originally. Nazuna had discovered her during the night, during one of her nighttime binges, where she was out drinking, as many business people do in Japan. They go out, they have socialistic drinkings with their bosses, their underlings. It's just kind of like a passing of rights. It's a thing that occurs in Japan a lot. And we have this businesswoman who was she's tired of this lifestyle that she lives out till 3 a.m. in the morning, drinking with her peers, drinking with her boss, being called in and around work, being inundated by work 24/7. And Nazuna discovers her, brings her back, gives her the massage, you know, really relieves her stress. And she now has this as kind of like a ritual to come and do this stress relieving to kind of get away, break away from work, break away from adulthood, that we've all felt those socialistic pressures in the past. And she comes here as a getaway. And instead of meeting Nazuna this time, she meets our boy KOU'S. And KOU'S originally was absolutely against it, but now because Nazuna promised him a little nookie and a little bit of like some side pocket change, some real money here, he decides to take it seriously. So he goes and he gives it his full go around. He does tell her that he's 14. That spurs on a bunch of conversation, but he takes the massage seriously and everything. This businesswoman has a breakdown, and he eventually he puts on his cape. He goes to play Captain 𝐒𝐻𝐽, and he decides to save this business girl, you know, because she's not even a woman, you know, she's 24, she's young, you know, so he decides to save this girl, and they do it by the same way that KOU'S got saved. They throw her out the effing window, and this female's going flying. She's like, yeah, am I gonna die? I was like, oh my god, they did her so effing dirty. This girl, like, seeing her reflection in a building. Thankfully, KOU'S jumps out too. He gets her They bring her back, kind of like to reality. They have a serious conversation. Talks to her about being a vampire. He promises her that if he turns into a vampire, he'll turn her into one. Turns into this very sacrilegious conversation, and he changes her perspective, and he changes her, and he gives her some kind of semblance of hope. Silly, but really good. And then I love how he makes Nazuna a little bit jealous because she's like, yo, you know what you just said, right? If you turn into a vampire, she gotta fall in love with you. He's like, yeah, I know. He's like, but girls tend to like me. I was like, my boy Ko. So I really like that quite a bit. Then we move into the pool party stuff where we've talked about it a little bit already. Nazuna makes him jealous during the pool party. He gets to see a whole nother side of nightlife that he's never experienced before. The ethereal atmosphere, basically the you can call it orgasmic as atmosphere that, these kind of places, again, like I said earlier, invoke within people, which is, drinking and sexual desires and these very real things that are very adult, that he just hasn't been associated or he hasn't been witness to yet, that he's getting to see for the first time because he's 14. He's never experienced this stuff. This stuff you don't typically experience till, post 18, sometimes post 21. So he's getting to experience all this stuff, and him and Nazuna end up at the pool stuff, before, and then talk about the jealousy and everything, and of course you guys saw it. But man, 10 out of 10 episode, very atmospheric, really love it, and I just really think like they're just nailing this anime over and over and over, and Nazuna is so special. Ko is a really cool character, and because he's such a kid, like, the way he's written is just so good, too. And now they have these other characters coming in. We have Shirakawa coming in, and we're going to continue to be shown other characters through Nazuna that Ko's going to end up being familiar and have this familiarity with, along with, his friend, which is going to come into the mix, who also may want to be a vampire as well in Akira down the line because she loves her boy Ko. So let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Do you also think it's a masterpiece? Let me know what you thought. Did you hate it? Did you love it? What did you like about it? What didn't I talk about? I know I missed certain pieces. I kind of cover it in a broad stroke as opposed to a specific one. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below, and I appreciate you guys being here. I'll see you all next week. Deuces, my vampires.